If ye love wealth better than liberty, the tranquility of servitude better than the animating consent of freedom, go home from us in peace. We ask not for your counsel or arms. Crouch down and lick the hands which feed you. May your chains set lightly upon you, and may posterity forget that ye were ever our countrymen. Samuel Adams. Welcome back, Patriots. Welcome to Sons of Liberty 1773, to this emergency broadcast on Saturday, March 18th, 2023. This is indeed where men and women from around the world gather in defense of liberty. I'm your host, Bill Bailey, who will be channeling the patriotism of America's founding fathers. So, America is sinking fast into the sixth circle of hell. And let's just jump right to it, folks. I got a lot to share with you. I can tell you the banks are failing. I got cash out of the bank today, more cash. I think we're in for a rough road, and I've been saying this repeatedly, so anybody that follows this channel knows my thoughts on what's coming. So here's the big one. President Trump says he will be arrested Tuesday, calls for protest. I will read you his truth, both of them that he posted on Truth Social. President Trump posted on Truth Social early Saturday morning that he will be arrested on Tuesday. Trump called for protest. Numerous leaks have reported Trump will be charged next week in New York City in the Stormy Daniels case, where he has been accused of paying Daniels as part of a confidential settlement before the 2016 election to buy her silence over her unfounded accusations of an affair. Trump, who has 24-hour protection by the U.S. Secret Service, currently resides at his Mar-a-Lago club in Palm Beach, Florida, which he rarely leaves. Under Florida law, this is interesting, folks, listen to this. The state's governor, Ron DeSantis, is responsible for making sure a person in the state is arrested and delivered to another state if that person is indicted on a felony charge. However, Florida law also gives the governor the power to call for a further investigation before a defendant is extradited if that defendant refuses to comply with extradition. And here is the here's the two truths that Trump posted. Trump is spot on this. Our nation is now third world and dying. The American dream is dead. The radical left anarchists have stolen our presidential election, and with it, the heart of our very country, our country. American patriots are being arrested and held in captivity like animals, while criminals and leftist thugs are allowed to roam the streets, killing and burning with no retribution. Millions are flooding through our open borders, many from prisons and mental institutions. Crime and inflation are destroying our very way of life. And let me get rid of that. Now, illegal leaks from a corrupt and highly political Manhattan District Attorney's Office, which has allowed new records to be set in violent crime and whose leader is funded by George Soros, indicate that, with no crime being able to be proven and based on an old and fully debunked by numerous other prosecutors, fairy tale, the far and away leading Republican candidate and former President of the United States of America will be arrested on Tuesday of next week. Protest, take our nation back. Unbelievable times we're living in, folks. They raided a sitting president's home, the Gestapo, the communist Gestapo for this criminal regime. Found nothing, took personal items. I heard that from Christina Bobbitt. She told me they took personal items. Mementos, probably. I can say, hey, I took this from Trump's house during the raid. Probably didn't even turn them in. This is the stuff that happens in Fidel Castro, Cuba, Maoist China, Stalin, Russia. We are a third world country. We are an occupied nation, by an enemy. And I just fear, folks, it's going to get much worse. So remember Stormy Daniels. Trump's already won against her. Stormy Daniels must pay $300,000 to Donald Trump after losing defamation case appeal. So she's this is all BS. I mean, this is total crap. And I'm sorry, let me pull that up so you can see it. So Stormy Daniels must pay $300,000 to Donald Trump after losing defamation case appeal. This is just such garbage and just unbelievable. And I'm going to tell you, I pray for Donald Trump, and we all should, for his safety, because they have tried everything, and this is going to fail big time, by the way. But the last thing they can do is to JFK him, and that's my biggest concern. And I told Christina Baba that, and she said he has really good security, and he's very cautious. Probably why he doesn't leave Mar-a-Lago a lot. Great man, just trying to restore our nation. He really has become more and more of a godly man. Hey, he was a sinner just like the rest of us, and probably still is just like the rest of us. But he's did nothing but good for this country. He loves America, and he loves the American people. And he wants to stop the endless wars, bring economic prosperity and morality back to America. And that's why they hate him, because the left and the globalists are Satanists. So Elon Musk says Trump will be reelected in a landslide victory if they arrest him. He tweeted that. The lefty media is all over. We're finally getting them. They're gonna put him in cuffs, and they'll do the perb walk like they did with Bannon. I mean, it's effing disgusting. Elon Musk, if this happens, Trump will be reelected in a landslide victory. Someone else tweeted, mega deplorable. It's going to backfire. Trump will be more popular once he is arrested. The right will gather around him. It's a dumb political move on their part. So that's that. So as far as the protest on Tuesday, I don't know what's going to happen, but I can tell you people are going to be livid. They're going to be pissed. And I have an idea of how we can peacefully protest in a very creative way coming up for April 19th, the anniversary of Lexington and Concord. And I will talk more about it as the time nears. But this is really sad, folks. And New York has just went totally into the gutter. I mean, it is literally, you're walking the streets of hell in New York City. Why anybody would want to live there is beyond me. A friend who has a daughter that lives there, artsy fartsy person, said, just to give you an idea of what it costs to live in New York and why would you want to live there in the first place. But like a townhouse was $7 million. And the property taxes were like $700,000 a year, some stupid, ridiculous amount of money. Why would anybody live there? There's nothing there. I love New York as far as its American history at the founding of this country. But beyond that, I have no love for that city. Maybe it's the Mystery Babylon that's going to go away in a puff of smoke in hell, fire, and brimstone. We'll find out, because I think we're living in the end times and we're going to witness it, my opinion. So now let's get over to the banking crisis, as if this isn't terrible enough, just to show the state of America. Go through these. And I did just go get money out of the bank, folks. I asked how much I could get out of the bank, how much they'd let me withdraw in cash, and I got what I could get. Fed to reportedly post... Now listen to this, folks. Fed to reportedly post first annual operation loss of $80 billion. That's pretty bad, right? That's pretty bad. But let's go down into the print here. The annual operating loss of $80 billion would be the first one since 1915. The Fed is also said to have negative capital of $38 billion. The Twitter account also mentioned that this loss doesn't include the $1.3 trillion in unrealized losses in its portfolio. Our government's crumbling right before our eyes. This at the Gateway Pundit. Biden economy. Emergency loans to U.S. banks reach highest level ever this week, smashing the 2008 record. This week we saw the Biden gang bail out all depositors in Silicon Valley Bank, including the Chinese venture capitalist accounts. because it's tied to the CCP, which makes sense why Biden would bail out his comrades in China, but not the bank itself. Today, SVB went bankrupt. This is just from a few days ago, right? We also saw the fall of Signature Bank. This bank was led by a board that included Barney Frank from the tragic Dodd-Frank fame. These two banks were the second and third largest bank failures in U.S. history, but there's more. According to the Daily Mail, bank borrowing from the U.S. Federal Reserve spiked to a record $153 billion this week, shattering this peak, the peak seen during the 2008 financial crisis as banks scrambled for liquidity. It was the largest amount of borrowing on record from the Fed's discount window, which offers banks 90-day loans at the central bank policy rate, currently set at 4.75%. After a year of steep increases. And no, folks, they're printing this money because we don't have it. They're going to be printing trillions, and they're putting it on our shoulders. But as they inflate our currency with more and more of these bogus bucks, our money becomes worthless. We're heading for hyperinflation. Again, my opinion, but that's where we're heading, or just a complete overnight collapse of everything. I've got my concerns. I'm obviously not a financial advisor, and I'm giving you my opinion. Do your own research. Moody's cuts outlook on U.S. banking system to negative, citing rapidly deteriorating operating environment. In a harsh blow to an already reeling sector, Moody's Investors Service cuts its view on the entire banking system to negative from stable. The firm, part of the big three rating services, said Monday it was making the move in light of key bank failures that prompted regulators to step in Sunday with a dramatic rescue plan for depositors and other institutions impacted by the crisis. And then I wanted a little article here if I can find it really quick. Oh, okay. Let's do this right here. Make sure you guys are seeing this. You're not. I'm sorry. Let me move this over just a little bit so you can see the whole thing. Sorry about that, folks. These websites format differently, and once in a while you got to do what I'm doing right now. So this is at the FDIC, okay? The Deposit Insurance Fund balance increased by $2.8 billion to $128.2 billion. Assessment revenue of $2.1 billion was the largest source of income. So what I want to get to here is the Deposit Insurance Fund balance is $128.2 billion. Folks, that's enough to bail out one mega bank, maybe. That leaves no money for no one else to pay insurance claims. Biden claims that Silicon Valley Bank bailout wouldn't cost taxpayer money, but we all know that's BS, correct? So let me see if I can find this really quick. I thought I had it highlighted. Okay, this right here. Following the collapse, sorry, I always got to make sure you can see this because I don't have two screens. Following the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank, federal regulators devised a plan to backstop $175 billion in deposits. But remember, the FDIC has $128.2 billion ready to pay claims. We're at $175 billion here, just this one bank. Federal government officials have waived FDIC threshold of $250,000 and plan to release cash from the insurance funds paid into the banks. According to the FDIC, officials are in the process of auctioning nearly $200 billion of Silicon Valley Bank assets. That won't bring $200 million, folks. They won't bring a pittance of that. So that's that. And then the 15 largest banks in the United States hold a combined total of $13.4 trillion in assets. $13.4 trillion in assets is not going to be covered by $128.2 billion, correct? And I didn't want you to just see this because I think I had the screen off. Just right there. Moody's cuts outlook to U.S. or Moody's cuts outlook on U.S. banking systems to negative, citing rapidly deteriorating operating environment. And then we have no money, folks. The banks have no money, and the American people have no money. Credit card debt is at a record high, climbing nearly 19% in the fourth quarter of 2022. Many Americans have exhausted their savings and now are deep in a hole trying to cover the cost of living. And that's actually at NPR. Let me get rid of this stuff. So, you know what I'm doing today? Well, the roads, we're actually getting kind of a snowstorm. But I'm going to run over to Jay's and be buying some, stocking up on some more Super Soaker refills, if you know what I'm talking about. With a friend that's never been to Jay's. Maybe I'll go today, see what the roads look like. Right now, I just went up to the bank to get money out, cash, which I, do what you want, folks. I'm telling you what I'm doing. Get some cash out of your bank account. Who knows what's going to happen, especially this week with all the turmoil that I expect is coming. If there is a, run on the banks, not saying there's going to be, but I'm just showed you the news, and it looks pretty grim to me, is to get some of your cash and then hide it somewhere. And I did want to pull up one other screen really quick. Hold on just a second. I got to... gold spiked. Let's see if I can go to one of my favorite sites real quick. Gold's actually pulled back. It was over $2,000 a ounce, and it is gold is $1,999.70. I expect it could. Let me get rid of that stupid thing. And silver's at $22.99. But I'm going to tell you, folks, if our banks start collapsing one after another, pancaking on one another, the dominoes fall, gold and silver is going to go through the roof. So I hope you've bought some. If not, I suggest you get some physical gold, not ETFs. That's just a fiat. I think they manipulate gold and silver prices by overselling the paper gold and silver, saying we'll hold your gold and silver, but here's proof that you bought 10 ounces of silver. I think if people ever tried to cash those in and get their silver and gold, my opinion, it doesn't exist. So get your own gold and silver. Okay, my friends, I'm going to end it here. I think next week's going to be a rocky road. Keep your eyes on the bank. Let's see what happens with Trump and just a sad state of affairs we're in. But keep prepping and keep praying. Stack it to the rafters. You can never have too many preps. Have some cash on hand, gold and silver, 2A stuff, all the survival stuff you need, which always reminds me, I have my affiliate link to My Patriot Supply is always in the descriptions of the videos. A special link from My Patriot Supply they gave to this channel. So use that when you shop. Doesn't cost you any more, but they kick back a little money to this channel. It keeps the lights on. And then mypillow.com, just use promo code SOL1773 to save up to 66%. May God bless you and your family and friends and keep you all safe. I will see you in the next video. Sons of Liberty out.